Hey, it's Stephen Bernstein here, and Luke Augusta asked me to talk about this record. Where is it? This CD, Sex Mob Does Bond, which recently had its 20th anniversary, and we're using tomorrow's or yesterday's anniversary of Doctor No and the British invasion. The Sex Mob Does Bond record started as a concert that Michael Dorff requested at the Knitting Factory Festival of, I guess it was called Jazz in the Movies or something like that. Some sort of celebration of jazz and cinema. And I said, well, let me do a James Bond. You know, one of the things about Sex Mob has always been trying to find elements of popular culture that everyone relates to. So I thought James Bond would be perfect. And I started transcribing songs. This was pre-internet days, so you had to buy a record. Here's my record of Goldfinger. Probably did 3 cues off of this record. Then I had On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Did about 3 cues off of this record. From Russia with Love. This actually had, I believe this one may have had Bond with Bongos, which is the first James Bond song I did with Sex Mob off the first record. I also had these records, You Only Live Twice. We did record that song. Diamonds Are Forever. Nothing from this made the cut. And Moonraker. Definitely nothing from this made the cut. What I did... Sorry, I'm going to stop this right here. What I did was I made a cassette tape of all my favorite songs off of all these records. And took it on the road with me. I just listened to the cassette tape and I edited it down after listening to it for a week on the road about the songs that I liked most and started transcribing them. I figured let's start with one of the songs I did, which is Teasing the Korean. This is off of Goldfinger. This is what the original sounds like. We'll hear it right now. Check this out. Yeah, so that's a beautiful cue, very atmospheric, from Goldfinger, obviously, and goes between these big brass hits and these kind of harp glissandes. There's a beautiful saxophone melody, and then there's these kind of sustained strings. It's interesting because I just started to rewatch Doctor No, and that score was not by John Barry. And it does have the theme that everyone recognizes at the beginning, and some elements of that during the movie, but it does not have, at least from what I was watching, the giant brass cues that John Barry started that became so much part of the Bond sound. These giant British style big band with really wild high and low brass. So this is what I did with Sex Mob to make this piece into a Sex Mob piece. Let's check it out. Tease of the Korean by Sex Mob. John Medeski on organ. Good record. Etc., etc., as we enter Sex Mob world here. So you can see I basically took the string parts, the string holds, and had the organ do that. And the organ also doubles the brass. You hear sometimes the string, the bowed bass is doing the saxophone melody, and then sometimes the saxophone is doing the saxophone melody. So I would take all these parts of these themes and just kind of give it to the band, let the characters of the band play the characters. I'm going to pause it right here and put on another record, and let's look at maybe Battle of Piz Gloria. That's such a good cue. Well, here we are part 2, discussing Sex Mob Does Bond. I want to look at the track, the 5th track on the record, which is Battle at Piz Gloria. This is a classic track from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I know a lot of people are not crazy about George Lazenby, however you say his name, but it did have Diana Rigg and Telly Savalas, so I count that as 2 really fantastic actors on this. So this had a great score, super brassy score. Of course, this was the 5th score, I guess, that John Barry had done, and he really, he really went for it on this one. So let's check this out here. All right, here we go. Battle at Piz Gloria, original version. Etc., etc., etc. So with Sex Mob, we took this same concept, and here's how Sex Mob did it. Etc., etc., etc. Now, I'm going to have a special bonus feature, and we're going to listen to my big band arrangement of this in part 3. This Bond record I did, actually, it sold some copies. And funny story, I did a gig with Sting. It had to be about 12 years ago. It was a one-off right before, it was the first Super Bowl where Tom Brady played. And we were playing the pregame concert. It was Sting and Sheryl Crow. At the time, Chris Bodie wasn't quite a superstar yet, and he had been in Sting's band and wasn't able to make the gig. So Clark Gayton, the trombone player, called me to come and sub. And I was trying to be cool with Sting. At the end of the gig, I said, listen, I have this record I made, I thought you might like, with my band Sex Mob. Sex Mob does Bond. And Sting goes, oh, I already have it. My manager's husband is obsessed with this band, and I had to listen to it while playing pool one night. I don't know if he said I had to, but or he said he always listened to it while they're playing pool. Anyway, it's kind of funny that Sting had the record Sex Mob Does Bond. But a lot of people bought it. And in about 2012, I get a call from Scott Belk, who leads the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music Jazz Orchestra. And he asked me if I would, he was another fan of the record. He said, would you do big band arrangements of the Sex Mob arrangements of the movie scores, which is interesting because the movie scores are big bands, and then I kind of shrunk them down to be Medeski and Sex Mob, and now I'm shrinking them back up to be a big band. So let's check out what Battle at Piz Gloria sounds like as played by a big band in the style of Anyway, so it's a translation of a translation. So that came out pretty well. If you're interested in buying this CD, it's available online. It's like Sex Mob Big Bands. Let's look at Odd Job's Pressing Engagement, part 4. Oh, this is good here. Part 4 coming up. Next. All right, part 4, Odd Job's Pressing Engagement. As I remember, this cue has something to do with him and being in a laundromat with a press. And this is basically the classic James Bond theme, super brassy. Then it kind of dissolves, obviously, at some cue in the scene to a very open sound. Here we go. Odd Job's Pressing Engagement. Brass and harp, strings, bass trombone, French horns. Bones. So that's basically the James Bond, first part of the James Bond theme, mixed with the Goldfinger theme, and into our mystery section. And so, of course, you know we're going to have some fun with that with Sex Mob. So here's how we did it. And here's Sex Bomb, people, because this is what we do. And I gotta say, these are some wild grooves in the Desky. Something happened when I first finished this record. I listened to the whole thing in a row. I just went, what the hell is this, man? I mean, how am I even, does this even make sense? Like, what is this, like, it's film music, it's not film music, it's groove music, it's not groove music. And I called up my friend Hal Wilner, and I said, man, I'm done with this Sex Mob record, and I don't even know what it is or why I did it. And Hal said, well, don't worry, man. That happens to everybody. You know, you spend so much with a piece of something you create, and you're so far in it, and you get done with it, and you're so close to it, you don't even know what it is. But I set it up like a movie, you know, with that opening credits, Act 1, intermission, Act 2. This is the second cue in Act 2, and the closing credits. So, yeah, Odd Jobs pressing engagement. 007. So this is almost like a song cue. This score from Russia with Love is not as brassy, has a lot more strings and Russian stringed instruments. And since it's called 007, I thought maybe with Sex Mob, we play it in 7. That means 7 beats, not your regular 8 beats. Let's check it out. Here we go. 007 by Sex Mob. This song, well, this whole record actually has such great mixing by Scott Harding, and I have to give it up to Scott on this. The mix is so good on this song that we almost never played it live because it was so hard to kind of achieve that monstrous, over-the-top Frankenstein feeling Scott got on this. So anyway, that's one of the 2 songs on the record from Russia with Love. The other is Bomb with Bongos, which is actually on the very first Sex Mob record. And I guess we did it twice. I guess we did it again on this. So, there's an extra track on the Japanese version of this with Thunderball. It's pretty straight reading for us until the end. We have a nice vamp out with the chorus, kind of nice, kind of silly. I like this groove. There you go, Thunderball. I'll play from the beginning. You can hear how it started. Here we go, Thunderball. Yeah, this Thunderball theme by John Barry is amazing because it's just so James Bond. The da 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 da, and you know the rising and lowering here, right? And here's the hit. James Bond. How's he do it? Anyway, of course, goes to a bridge. Has to go to a bridge. Yeah, so these songs, these themes are just cemented in not just Americans. The reason I really want to do this record, this music, is like, you know, oftentimes with Sex Mob, we do songs that mean so much to people of my era who grew up in America. But these songs, because of the power of these movies, mean so much to people all over the world. So I always enjoy having fun with this kind of stuff. Before I go, we'll do one more little segment with a little bit of the big band because a lot of people haven't heard that. I want to thank Luke for inviting me. I hope this has been interesting, or at least not boring. Enjoy 60th anniversary of Dr. No. Well, I think I'm going to end this up, since it's the anniversary of Dr. No, with playing my composition, Dr. Yes, which is written for Sex Mob. Then I got to reimagine it for a big band with the CCM Jazz Orchestra. And it was a fun thing to do. Maybe someday I get to do this in New York. Well, you can see on this, I went for the full James Bond. You got that percussion, the flutes, the high notes, all the little James Bond ideas. But it's amazing how you can do all this stuff. And it's not a James Bond theme, but it sounds like a James Bond theme just because there's all this incredible music that John Barry kind of created, these little ideas, these little signifiers. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it illuminating. If you never heard Sex Mob Does Bond, you can just listen to it on any of these streaming capabilities, because I don't even know who owns it now. It's one of these mysterious records that seems to be owned by nobody. So it's available for you, and thank you, Luke, for inviting me, and thanks for watching. Bye.